Okie dokie, that was the, how do you say, the CPI news about 3 minutes ago, eh? Did it do its thing? Was it a pop-up to drop or pop-up to keep popping? That is the question, mon frère. I do say this trading. What will happen? We got 2K buying on the pop-up. 342 pop spike. All right. Let's relax. We were in a range all day and popped up just now for the news. All the way up to the 25,386. A lot of buyers popped up in there. Okay. Let us play the games to unwind. We will put it out of full screen and put it into windowed. We'll just chill and wait for more evidence to line up here. Where's that? Pop-up window. Oh, nice. Enjoy your weekend, T.O. That's what it's all about. What's up? Hmm. All of it's fake, Trader Joe. Everything. I believe the is it's all a farce. Done for whimsical or bemusement. Do, 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 do. Okay. Hmm. Yo, what's up, everyone? Kind of quiet today. Yo, what's going on? 9 minutes. Let's see where she goes. There's not really much I'm seeing right now. I need it to develop. It's all fake, but at least it's less obvious than crypto. Crypto's all like, hey, ape into ape and buy Pepe coin because reasons. For the lulz, yeah. And these crypto bro influencers get in before you so they can shill to their audience. That's cool. I don't know how they sleep at night, honestly. They're just scammers and schemers and it's for the community. Yeah. Il Hadi knows. Mr. Crypto Lifer. Yeah, that was our community before. Yeah. Well, because when you see through the illusion of how money is just basically a sham, it's like you can't play by the rules after that. You realize it's like a collar. It's like a neck collar that gets you to behave in a certain way because society just makes it that way. And like you could be a monk up in the mountains just trying to attain enlightenment, or you can use it against itself and just siphon off whatever you want. But yeah, there's a lot of charlatans and people that are just like narcissists, and it brings out the dark triad type people for sure. Yeah, there's what do you call it? Um mm, how would I describe? But it's yeah, there like I was in that yeah, dick riders. Yeah, it would be like, yes men or whatever. People trying to climb the ladder. Like I was in that first crypto community I was in, I was like considered quote unquote elite charter, and like he gave this title. I got to be in his group for free, which is, I mean, I guess honorable. People were paying like $1,000 to be in there or whatever for a year. And so I was in there for free because I did have like a specific brain that could see the patterns quickly and post charts. So he would be like, I like your setups. And then he got me to work for him for free, basically. But it was a give and a take. So I understand. Um, yeah. eh, You know the best of it, Danny? You were there for free. Oh, shit. You were there free too? Snap. Yeah. I mean, the churn on his audience was incredible. Like he had, oh, snap. Well, it's because his wife was doing all the payments and they had some weird problem where they got shut down, probably because of a lot of card, uh, re, you know, things because he was on Stripe and he got like, what do you call it? Um, he got his Stripe removed. So he had his bank account frozen or whatever, and he had to find a new payment system. But anyway, like, yeah, it was because he had such churn in his audience. Like, he would say, it's definitely going to the moon. And then it wouldn't. And then he'd be like, but I told you that the measure moved to the downside. So I called the short. And it's like, no, you didn't. You said it was going to the moon. But he would just be like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Look over here. And then he had like a cult personality where nobody questioned him. It was so weird. Accountability, yeah. Right. Yeah. And then he had like that. It sounds like very similar to the crypto world. Yeah, like there was like this API that got hacked for this thing that he was like affiliate for. And then he was, in that case, he was nowhere to be found. Like, it's not my business, you know. Granted, he didn't know that was going to happen, but you did put your name behind it. And a bunch of his audience got like jacked for like thousands and thousands of dollars. We're open in 5 seconds. And then he showed these meme coins and then he would delete the video because then CoffeeZilla was doing like exposés on those people that did it. So he, you know, panicked and removed all of those shill videos he made. But I remember Pepperidge Farm members. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what we doing. Nope, not much. Just some jitter bugs. Mm-mm. Yeah, let's just lock it in here. 280 lot, and the wick is up at 387. Hmm. 118 buyer looks like at 348. And the 73 at 350. If it comes above 353, you could be getting seller slingshot here. At least up to the wick. We'll see. Another one, yep. It did this the other day where it like prematurely didn't clear the wick and dumped beforehand. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was like a week ago. I played the buyer acceptance of those inflection points. I'm protecting my entry though. I don't trust it. I'm at 326. I'm good. Down beneath that 129 buyer. But it's pretty good. I'm trailing it now because I'm in 2 minis. Oh, snap. That was $900, so I just took it. I think I'm gonna lock myself out of that one because I just don't want to end Friday in any way, shape, or form giving back to the market. That's it. And then I can't, in good faith, say stay frugal, stay positive, and to stay blessed if I'm not trying to stay positive. There's so many days and experiences that I've had where you sit there staring at the empty, vast darkness of the night as I go to sleep, and I'm like, I was up though. I was up. I was up. And then I had nothing in the end. It was just like, because you got greedy, bitch. So it's like $900 was $900 that wasn't there 9 minutes ago. You know what I mean? $900 in 9 minutes is pretty good. Can't complain about that. My wife checked the bank account today and was just like, what the hell? Because she saw all the zeros that I was talking about as being real. And I was like, I told you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was like 2 years of my paycheck. So it's like, that's good. Get that money, man. That Friday dinero. We have a nuke on my indicator here. It's exhausted on the weekly, I think. Let's see. No, it's the 3-day and the daily. The 3-day and the daily is exhausted. See, I took that guy's system, which was, he had some insights. He just was good at being like talking about both sides of his mouth to protect his revenue stream, you know. So I took his system and studied it, and then it's basically like stochastics and overbought, oversold, and then I turned it into an indicator. So you don't need him, basically. That's why it's called "Be Your Own Guru" is the slogan, because if you have that indicator, you don't need to go watch his stream, which is why he spent a year rope-a-doping me and not, wanting to promote it, because it actually worked. And then it was like, you don't need him anymore, and that was the point. And it's like, wait, but you're not... He's like, that was his genuine question. He's like, why do people need me then? And I'm like, And I was like, I wanted to tell them and they don't, I guess, but it was the truth. They didn't, and that was what he feared. So, but I didn't need the money or the clout or anything. I just know it works. And there was a few people that bought the lifetime or whatever and supported, and they're still making bank with it, so I know it works. I don't like shilling fake stuff, and I don't Yeah, and I never got a marketing thing, so I wasn't really like big on it. But it's not again. Damn, I wish I knew what caused that. Maybe I got a link or something. On the time I got the Elgato capture card, like I wonder if it's like too many inputs or something. I don't know. It's lame. Yeah, I was just never big in like to be like a real popular like YouTuber, you gotta kind of like sell your soul a little bit and be like, hey, thank you for coming on into the stream. I'm illuminated nothing. Come, oh, thanks. Shout out to my audience. Love you guys. Like you gotta be kind of like psycho, you know? Invest with Henry. That doesn't really have like a good ring to it, but it's like, hi, I'm Henry. It's like trying to be innocuous. I'm not anything dangerous. I'm Henry. Right, right. And the way they gaslight, he's like they're always master manipulators and gaslighters, and they know how to like gaslight. Be like, that's on you, like blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's like drama. Like I remember that was what crypto, like any of the fake stuff has drama, but like as you notice here, there's no real drama. Everyone's just joking around, and that's why I'm like, it's something special because everyone's like who they say they are, or they're, they're just themselves. They're not putting on a show, you know? 30? It's like YOLO. Put it all on black and walk away. Were people in pretending. He had some, or they're paid to do that. He had this you remember yeah, they had people to like, they're like counselors like Deanna Troy in like Star Trek. But like there who is that? There was a, you remember Ilhadi? Who was that woman that he had that always was in the chat saying loving things? Like his name was like Lovable something. What was her name? Yeah, yeah. And she would always be like, let's just have it positive. And, but she was like, but she was paid to be there. She was like, late after I got into the inner circle, I would like talk to her and I'm like, so what's your story exactly? And she's like, well, my husband's on this special, he needs special care. And she's like, so he let me in the group. And so I said I would help in whatever way. And he needs me to do this. So I do this. And he would just like use people and give them access to the group and get them to do stuff for him. So he had like basically this like Amway type thing where like if you get other people to do things for you. No, they have, well, they do, yes, but it's like, yeah, that it's like a pyramid scheme where he'd be like, all right, I need you to get some more people to join. And then she would be like consoling people that lost trades and be like, well, it happens. It's part of the game and blah, blah, blah. And she'd be like running defense for his bad call or whatever. Yep. Yep. Um, he's still, yeah, like I knew I was, you could Google crypto lifer. He wears a suit and tie and he's like, he like tries to be the real deal, but keyword being try. He's try harding it, but he faked it until he quote unquote made it. But he was like from 14K, he went, now he's over 100K or whatever. But he like his audience is always like 1,000 or something. So he's like, a lot of them are just like, he has a lot of churn on his audience. So it doesn't really matter. He has like this like 100K audience if they're all not watching. What happened to them? It's like, where are they? They're all liquidated. They don't know the backstory. Yep. Mm-hmm. That are like all like, and he always talks about like God and stuff. So he tries to play the like spirituality card. Like, I'm blessed all the time. Like, but you got to count your blessings. Like, and then when there's a bad call out, he goes into like, these are the times when the times are tough and blah, 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 blah. He would just, try to talk out about both sides of his mouth, which was what he was good at. But if you start seeing through that, then you're a hater, right? If you, oh, that sounds fake as fuck. Yeah, Ohadi knows that he was what I'll just finish I want El Hadi to finish the sentence like Sammy Cup and what? Sammy Cup and Handy. Yeah. He would be like Sammy Cup and Handy to the upside. And that was like he would always do the cup and handle. Granted, the cup and handle is an actual strategy, and that was what he was looking at. He had knowledge and he wasn't wrong all the time. Like he had time in the market. Like he wasn't an idiot. Like he was just a charlatan in many ways to monetize that prediction that anybody could do. But not everyone can be, dark triad trade enough to just lie all the time. Mm-hmm. Well, it just becomes a funny story. Like I don't have any hatred for him. Like he's just doing him. Like he found a niche to monetize his YouTube, and it was by being disingenuous and doubling down on when he's wrong and gaslighting his audience into not seeing that. And it's like, okay, whatever. There's something for everyone, I guess. And those people that are lost there that need the guidance from him, like that's I guess they need that too. It's like a toxic relationship. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I took that one long absorption play and that was it. Yeah, there was that was a guy who he teamed up with after I left, whose avatar was like Pepe the Frog, but he was trying to teach a strategy about like DCing into losing positions too. And he only longed and he would only DCA. It was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a recipe for success. But I remember he was a permabull and he like I was in his group the entire time it was the bear market and he was just always looking for the bottom. He was just a bottom sniffing fool the whole time. Even when Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda and all that stuff. Yeah. Like during that time, like the dark crypto time, he was trying to say, you know, this is the bottom and it's gonna all recover. And I remember my indicator got the exact bottom with the rocket ships at like 14K. That's like what's on my website for it. And then I was trying to say it, but that's when he started to shift his sentiment to short. So I remember that stream when I was saying, no, I think this is the bottom. And then he was trying to short the bottom. But then later he talked outside of his mouth and he was like, yeah, I told you I was buying Bitcoin down here. It's like, no, you weren't. Probably 30 seconds. The order book just cleared on ES. The whole cloud just went dark. Do 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 do. Damn. Sammy cup and handy to the upside. Not really. I haven't seen the longs get liquidated just yet. You're getting some buyers here, but the 2K in Delta is just about getting recovered. You had an 84 buyer get absorbed here, so I would like, if you're gonna see like a reversal, I would expect more sellers to get hit. Mm-hmm. Ah, nice. As long as you protect your entry so you can stay zen. That's how I do it anyway. There should be no hope, like wishful thinking about anything. It either does or it doesn't do what you're thinking. That's it. Like that long that absorbed those things, like I got that 900 out of it or whatever, but there's been those times where it just rips and you're just like, what? And then you just make like 3-4 grand, so it's like that's all you're waiting for. And if it stops you out of break even, so what? You could just do it again. Ooh. What is that Sammy Cup in Handy doing? I haven't seen him in a while. What is he doing? Oh my god, he has like a jacuzzi bull party? Okay. All right. Glad I stopped watching a long time ago. Oh, he also, that reminds me, he also said he was straight edge, but always he would be like smoking like bongs in like private calls with the like other guys in the group. So he would play like act like he never did anything, but he was always high. Oh my god, he's sitting in a jacuzzi though, so it's gotta take a different type of machismo there. Live stream from a jacuzzi. Okay. A lot of 100 lots getting thrown around here. 130 seller, 290, 110, 294. Buyer, 300, 146 lot. Basically break even on the delta for the day. It was previously 2K in buyer aggression, now break even. There's a little bit of divergence between ES and NQ. ES trying to maintain while NQ already breaking down. Another seller. 129 lot at 277. Got hit. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't think Sandy's actually a girl, but I think we went over that before. And I'm pretty sure you're joking. Yeah. We got some imbalances down below the value area low. That's a mighty amount of sellers getting hit. Are they gonna idiot box here to induce some more? Or induce some buyers and then go lower? Who knows? Generally, if I'm in a short and it's like hanging around here and then I see a bunch of sellers, I feel uneasy about that. Like, I generally play counter to the inflection point. So if there's sellers, I'd consider long, not short. If it's like a full rip to the downside day, then these are just the tip of the iceberg of those getting rewarded. Then they just accelerate away from them. I just feel uneasy. But another 112 hit at 270. That's why I would say I was always looking for longs around a bunch of sellers hit. $112 buyer at $314, likely a stopped seller from down below there. Volume point and control moved to 300, so if it's clean and it goes back to 300, that'd be nice. You just had a 90 lot seller at 322. That's slingshot fuel. 104 buyer at 329. 79 seller 326. Nice. Well, you saw those sellers get hit, right? Like on the way down, yeah. It's like it did like two legs or something down and then hit another 113 at 270. As soon as it would have come back on those first two, I would have been like, and piqued my interest for a long off of that because it already hit a fair amount. And then you could just trail the 277 guy. And then once it jittered up a bunch above 294 and started rewarding that guy at 300, the buyer, that's when I would have been like, oh, right. Like for like scooping a bottom, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was like that's a very secure like patient entry too. So you weren't knife catching at all. So it's not sometimes it's not about like really getting the bottom tick, but like seeing the narrative sculpt itself first, you know. That's really what it's about. So you don't have to enter any drawdown. It's just like zoop in your favor. And like knowing when that thing in your favor will occur is what you're here for. Remove the risk and only add reward, kind of. Coming up on those sellers, the slingshot could be inbound. Needs to stay above 326 if that's true. Mm-mm. What? So people would like, yeah. So people would like bullshit, like, he's really good. You need to. Damn, dude. Mm. Well, you're getting funded. It's you're ahead of the most of the people because like I don't know what the percentage. I forgot. It's either 10 or 1. It's very few though that get it to the PA level. And then even fewer that get to the, you know, payout level. But it's like the payout level and it's all milestones, right? Like passing the account is one milestone and then getting the PA jitters where you like blow them or whatever. And then getting the payout jitters like it was one day before payout. And then it's like consistent payouts. Like there's all these like milestones you make, but it's all psychological. It's like the majority is in your head. Yeah. And then when in doubt, wait, err on the side of caution, you know. Imagine every time you hit it, you lose, like you just be ever extra careful to make sure your edge gets that much more sharp. Sharpen the edge. 3%. That sounds about right. Yeah, that just looks like more fuel to the upside. The slingshot continues. The slingshot continues until further notice. Do, 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 do. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got into Bitcoin when it was double topping in 2021 or whatever. And then I bought the top. So I lost all this money, you know, and then I was like 10% of what I had left. And then I used that to like claw it all back through sheer understanding of like pattern trading and momentum trading and everything. And then I made it all back and then some. It was like, yeah, and then I made that whole indicator in the process. So it was, but it was like trials and tribulations. Like there was all these chapters like that shorting while I was hanging laundry on a Sunday, and then I got greedy, and then it became a negative trade for the whole weekend. It's like you learn how to like protect your entry after a whole day of like just staring at your phone. Like, damn it. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was saying it becomes like scar tissue, because you just, like, I can tell you with words, but there's nothing like the feeling like going to sleep angry and just like knowing you were too greedy and you had it and you just let it go, you know, because of. Damn it. Sorry. Yo. Oh yeah, yeah. You said that the other day, and you were like, yeah, there, you thought you couldn't lose or whatever. Right. And then that's like a meditation unto itself because you got to live with that. So you're just like sitting there like with the shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know, story in your head. Well, that's why you got to like have affirmations and rituals and things that you say to yourself that kind of wake you up from the trade demon within, you know? And things that distract your urges because we all got them, like from being trigger finger happy for no reason, just because you're like bored. It's like, why are you going to put money at risk because you're bored? Play a game or something. It's like Tio was saying, like, look, you got to look at it like a business, treat it like the expenses, losses as expenses that you have to. Sweeperoo. It's amazing when you look back at the last few months of price action because it's been pretty garbage. Like, even though I was able to like make some money these last few months with it, is that's how I know I have an edge because it's like it doesn't need to be trending. Like the Nvidia like surge with AI was just stupid. You could just long whenever you wanted and win. You could just be like, "Oh, double bottom long, yeah!" You just see a ABC, you long it, and you get the big D wave. Yeah, there's a lot of war stories from everyone here, so it's kind of like, you know, that people are real because they share them. Nobody's got like that ego, like, yo, man, I'm the best of the best. I got it all figured out. If you honestly think that, then it's like that's dangerous because the trader demon's coming for you, you know? Yeah, I found like a futures trading group first. So I was trading like 100x leverage on real capital stuff, but not really fully understanding it. So yeah, that was not good. You should understand what what leverage is. You learn quick when you lose. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. His group or something. Yeah, they have like a bunch of scanning apps or whatever where you can kind of learn to scan quickly. That's why also why I made the indicator that I had because I was like doing the dirty work for that guy and I needed to be able to find the oversold overbought conditions quickly. But also I could set an alert if it wasn't, and then my indicator would alert me when that would happen. So they're really good for like it's really good for like swing trades and stuff. It's basically like I don't know what Tio has under the hood of his Hulk, but whenever he's saying he's going in because his Hulk said things, it's like generally that aligns with what my indicator's saying too. It's like 7 time frames oversold type deal. Koala Maggie? What's that? Holy shit. Looks like you're getting more buyer absorption fuel, 290 lots at 326. If you're still in the short, if it accelerates below 325, it's good to go. Needs to hold below that. For me, I just mark it. I don't care. I just make sure I protect my entry, and then I use those candidates as the theory. Because if it goes above them, it's no longer valid. And that's the thing about trading too, is like if you get ego involved, like some people, like the need to be right is what will wreck you too. It's like you don't need to be right. You need to be earning money at the end of the day. That's it. So I would like be hit for break even. I'm not trading this, by the way. I'm just saying theoretically, but if if I was, I would be hit break even, and then I would be reassessing for like if it goes back below 325 or not. And then my entry might be destroyed, but at least I'm not like wishing and praying for that theory to be true. I'm completely out of like wishing anything. I'm just observing now. And that's why like sometimes like I was done in the first like what was it? 909 minutes. So I made the 909 minutes and I've just been playing games with you and talking with you guys the whole time. So but it's like the observation and like what I would do in this situation, what would I do in that, and like keeping this like flat observational viewpoint where it's like, well, I said it was going to absorb, but it kind of went lower, but then it would have hit me break even. But good thing I protect my entry. But is it going to play out anyway? Is my theory overall going to be good? If so, where would I have to put my stop for that to be true if I still believed in it? And then, like, I'm just like thinking it through. Like, you can get screen time without trading. Like, yeah. It's like you could you could run theories in your head without like simulations without actually hitting the button. And that's why I just constantly circle the things and say like, okay, well, now there's another buyer hit at 339. Is this like overall just like an idiot box buyer absorption? Ooh, they just hit 100 more at 342. And so it's like, I'm just seeing what's happening. And then if it goes back below these buyers, it's even more confirmation, more inflection points about buyer absorption. And then having seen buyer absorption a million times over, it's like I know what that means. So I just know what to do when it goes below those guys. And then so I would be like, all right, well, if it goes below this with acceleration, maybe I could take this again. I generally, like I said, play against the inflection points. If it's buyers, I'm thinking short, and if it's sellers, I'm thinking long. That's why when it was hitting the bottom and I was like saying the same thing, but I was saying I'm thinking long because it's hitting all these sellers, and then it went boom and bounced out. I was already done, but it's like I don't get that shoulda, coulda, woulda because I already locked myself out. There's a million trades a day. It's about knowing when they occur. Yeah. But like right now, it's flirting with the going below 325 again. So it's like that narrative that I was sculpting is coming to fruition. And then all it needs to do is go below 325 with aggression. And then you could consider taking that and be like, all right, well, it's doing the thing that I was thinking. So, you know, and that's yeah, and then I wouldn't have had to sit through those two inflection points at 342 and 339 because I would have protected my entry, but I was still or observe and be like, I'm not wrong, I just was like a bit early. So but it's like you avoid feeling the drawdown. I just don't like the drawdown and the physiological response. I'm not trading for the thrill. I'm trading for the money. Straight up. I just want the money. Give me the money. That's it. But every time it hesitates, like, that's why I'm like, I always like protect the entry because it's like, I don't want to get biased. But rarely do I see buyers like step up and take control. It's like the number of like buyer absorptions I've seen is far outweighs the buyers like pushing the price up in their favor after like it going sideways with them there. That's why it's like I'm always playing against the inflection point most times because it's like probability wise, it's stronger that it absorbs them than accepts. I would say if there's a large percentage of them, like there's four buyers here, and then you just had 250 and 80 lots at 322 and 321, it's just doing like inducement to me. But like, you know, the rare, I mean, like in a trending market, or there's like some sort of tech news or ceasefire or some sort of like bullish news that other than that, for the most part, like if there's a large group of players, then it's like topping out or whatever. But yeah, the majority is like knowing how many times you see the thing play out a certain way. And I've just noticed that there's more, you know, buyers at tops and sellers at bottoms, buyers at tops and sellers at bottoms. And then where it's uncertain, whatever the uncertain idiot box is, the majority of that is the loser. So it's like a tug of war. And if there's more buyers, then the buyers get absorbed most times. But not necessarily. Like, I mean, there's times where the buyers get accepted. And I'm like, well, I guess I was wrong about that. Like, it's not 100%. Nothing is, but like it's possible you could be more flexible than me because you don't have that like play play to the opposite idea in your head most times. So I wouldn't say let go of it per se. Like maybe you have a better insight than I do, you know. And a lot of times it's just like a waiting game. That's why protect your entry. Like, then if it hits you out, then like you just wait for it to go below an inflection point. You're like, well, I'm seeing this thing occur again. So then like you get this urge bubble up, and then I want to like hit the thing at a certain point. And then I'm like, well, if I hit the thing, then where is that become negated from where I hit the thing? And then like so at minimum I lose like $200 or like $100, but it's like if you win you make like 6 7 $800, and then you can, yeah, anything over like 100 or like nearing approaching like 94 95. And then I look at the total within the auction of the 2000 tick, like how many delta was on what side or not. And then what's the delta for the day? Like, have we been up in delta all day? Like, is it 5K in buyer delta? Like, the higher in delta and the more buyers were hitting at the top, you know, we could get like an exhaustion bump down at some point. Like, but if we're sideways and the delta's pretty even, then it's like seek and destroy. Then you're only looking for like a certain quick like it depends on what the session delta is and how much delta is in each candle push up. Like we just had a 351 push up, and then so that looks like it could get absorbed even more from my point of view. Like that's like a stop hunt type of thing. So I'm just looking at like delta inside the tick chart and delta in the candles. Yeah, it's not a one size fits all. It's like it is discretionary at some point, but the main thing is like it's 100+ lot, guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It also depends when they enter. Like there was a 100 lot buyer at 344 that just entered when we pushed down. Now, why would you like that's not a short closing out. That would be like a long that's wishing it to go up. So it gives me more credibility in the theory of buyer absorption if it goes below 344 now, because that guy was a long who either DCA'd his entry or, you know, just decided to enter there. I don't know which, but it's definitely long based on the pullback. Because, like, shorts getting stopped out, like the 120 lot at 343 and 339, that was a burst up. So that could have been stopped out shorts. So those could be no longer valid per se. But the one that just entered at 344 is a new long, a fresh long. And so that gives you like a perspective too. Like what was the candle doing when that person entered tells you whether it's like a short taking profit or getting stopped out or long entering or long selling because they're liquidated. Based on what it's doing tells you what like the probability of what that player was or is. So like the push down previous like to the 260s, it was hitting all these sellers. Those were likely stops. And then it hit the last guy at like 270 and then bounced out. And then that was, you know, liquidation of longs players. Maybe there was some sellers shorting into that, but not for that large of a contract. Like they're probably not that stupid, but that was probably just yeah, right. So there's like stop loss hunt like ways the can like it hits delta. Like there's another 100 buyer at 343 and now it jittered away from those two, so it's like that gives me more like that jitter is like contemplating rejection, not acceptance of these 200 lot guys. There's a 81 at 346 too, so it's like it's just sculpting this like not the opposite of acceptance, the absorption idea. And I'm seeing more blue than red. So I'm just seeing more buyers with no follow through, you know. But it has to accelerate. It just has like you can't play around those guys because my entry's more like clean about like using them as like dead bodies to hide behind, you know? I don't want to take a bullet to the face, so I hide behind them. Yeah. So now it's going beneath those 3 buyers that entered. So I'm getting more confirmation of this absorption. It just took a little bit longer to play out. The final hurrah is below 320, but and then the absorption will be complete in your path to the dark side. For like getting biased, like it's gonna go all the way to the swing low of last week. You know, like I'm not gonna think that. You know what I mean? Just take see profit, take profit, you know? Take the low hanging fruit and just get the fuck out. You know? Like, because if it was gonna trend, it would like trend and then, you know, like, I don't know. Right, like those days where I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting paid. Like, it's like I don't expect anything. Like, I go in with 0 expectation. So I'll take what it gives me. Just go away from my entry in my favor. That's all I ask. As long as it does that, and then I'm looking at it and observing from safety, you know? And then I don't get biased, then I could be like, well, it's now going above the buyers. Are they getting accepted actually? It did go down and retest 328, and these were those 2 buyers. Okay, well, am I looking at it opposite? Like, and then that helps you with the reversal game possibly too. So that's why I like to observe even though I'm done for the day, because it's like you can like that's what I'm saying in my head while I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, so are they getting accepted or absorbed? It's like, it's a twofold question, like, about who's in control. It's like, who's the aggressor and are they rewarded or punished for that aggression? And that's it. It's like a constant question. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's super jitter, like retracey, repainty, whatever you want to call it, before it plays out. Like you could look at all the 1,000 tick candles and like basically the next 2 after that always go back on whatever it did before. It's like railroad tracks, you know? So that's why it's like a see profit, take profit type of deal. Now you're getting a bunch of sellers. Yeah, it's always a work in progress. Like I'm not the end all be all, and I don't claim to be, but I have managed to get some payouts a fair amount, but it's yeah, but that's still amazing, you know. It's not that long ago either. It's just the market. The time goes so fast. It's like you feel like a year went by and it's only been a month. Right. It's just like, see, like getting sellers here at 358 and 361 and 354. Now it could go either way. So I would lose my confidence in the buyer absorption thing because now you're getting people that are kind of on the other side that could be slingshot now. So I'm like, wait, which one is it? And then since there's confusion, I'd be like, well, fuck this. Or you could be like, all right, well, I'm gonna try like a slingshot, like, and then if it goes below 354, I'm out. Like, you know, it depends on how like hungry you are, or whether you took a trade for the day or not. Like, there's all these variables. Like, that's why if I'm up, I don't want to give it back because I know what that triggers in me. You know, but it maybe doesn't trigger it in you. Like grape soda seems to be able to scalp just fine, you know? So for me, I just want one and done. Give me my money, lock me the fuck out. I'm done, you know, like I don't want to like give back cuz when I give back, that's when I kick myself and upsize and do some stupid shit. And I know myself well enough to be like I don't want to do that. So it depends on when you're entering the market to trade to begin with, or how patient you've been but thus far. Like there's all these variables that are, you know, it's not as like, you know, I in the beginning days I was like I was trading like the 30-second and like taking like 40-50 trades, you know, a a day. I have like a little push button thing to click how many trades, like click 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 click, you know. Right. So you can play both sides, and it's like I don't get married to one or the other. So that's at this point, like I don't have an ego about it. Yep. Take care. Mm, what can you do? You mean to be more consistent? You just have to build. It's like a snow confidence. Consistency equals confidence. Like you have to say that to yourself. Like being consistent is confidence, and inconsistency is the opposite of that. And it will like permeate your thoughts, you know. and then it'll also make you hesitant, and then you need to do this, or you hesitate when the actual setup shows, and then you kick yourself, and then you're like taking it late, and you're taking less A pluses, and you're like getting it's like a feedback loop, you know. So it's like reward the feedback loop that creates the confidence, not in the outcome, and like output over outcome. Like create these rituals that permeate deep into your subconscious that give you that confidence, you know? Because it's all connected to like self-image and shit like that, like on this weird level. So if you like, you know, and that's why we like self-sabotage and have these weird milestones that we can't cross, and it's only in our mind, you know? And it's like you have to just like overcome yourself, and then you overcome, these different like barriers that you place on yourself with doubt and things like that. And that's what causes you to hesitate when things are actually aligned, and then take shitty setups or whatever. It's all like it's a weird like psychological game, when the TA is just one small aspect of it. So there's nothing you can do on the TA side of things. You already know what that is at this point. You just said it today, like you had that beginner's luck or whatever. That was part of it, was like the confidence you had in yourself from other domains of your life, right? So, and that's why I'm saying like doing the workouts and stuff, like that's upped my confidence and like, you know, charisma and all this other shit. So it's like it kind of permeates over too in some weird way. So like that's all connected somehow. So it's like charisma and confidence and consistency, and there's this loop between them. And then which one can you cultivate? Like cultivate confidence using consistency is, I would say, is the best thing. And waiting, like how you took that long from the 300, like look back on that, and what did you see, and try to like get that screenshot of that in your head, because that's what I did to like kind of find what I would, you know, consider A plus or whatever. And then when it's not, then I'm like on the side, just like I need more confirmation, because I don't want to like chip into that consistency, like not even the money aspect, like the being consistent with what you're seeing, you know. It wouldn't. That's why sideline is a position too. That's why, like, I'll just wait. Like there's sometimes where it's like pulling teeth, and then sometimes it's just like butter sliding off toast. You're just like, what the fuck? Like the butter sliding off toast trades is what you really want. So you like there's some days where I'm like, it looks like this, and it's about to absorb. And it's like, what was absorbing? And you're like, well, nice. And then there's other trades where I'm like, or other days where you're like, just now when I was looking at those buyers and it wasn't really doing anything, it's like, well, it would hit me breaking even a couple times, maybe take a paper cut on, and then you know, I'll just be like, whatever, I'm just gonna chill. Or possibly see some sellers enter and be like, I'll take slingshot instead, fuck it. And then just like rotate. And then they get it.
there's shitty days for sure. Yeah. You should listen to Maxwell Maltz's like psycho-cybernetics though. Like that's one of those things where it blends science and spirituality in this way where you're like, oh, that's what all these motherfuckers are talking about. But it's like when you know that everything's like built up from your self-image and your subconscious, then you can kind of hack it to like give you better outcomes and results, and then you stop self-sabotaging. But you know, we have like everyone has that. Like nobody's free from that forever. Like we all have like a devil, an angel in our head that's trying to help and sabotage at the same time. And it's like, how in touch with that are you, where you're like able to recalibrate. That's that's it goes beyond trading. Like I don't know your situations in life or whatever, but like that's why I was like big in training and like wearing weight vests and doing pull-ups and doing all these things every day with non-negotiables with myself, where I'm like I'm gonna do it no matter what. And then like that is discipline. It's like it's that's. And then there's discipline like carries over to other stuff with unbeknownst in like, oh shit. And then you realize that everything's getting better. It's like, oh, okay. It's like I didn't intend for that to happen. It's just a side effect. Because like if you're more disciplined in general, then you're going to be more disciplined in trading. Like if you're going to, that's I guess what it is. Like grape soda is more like he has a regimented thing as well, but sounds like he's into the booty of his wife, but that's okay, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that.